Hi there ladies and gentlemen, this is Eastwood for Life fan here, back with another monthly update, and this is movie pickups update for the month of October 2021. Picked up a few DVDs, Blu-rays and 4K movie titles, quite a fair bit of horror movies, some modern day horror movies and some old classics. And before we get to see what I picked up, it's shout out time, and the shout out goes to two guys from the UK, and channel named Old AF Reviewers, Ricky and Pablo. Please go over and sub to their great channel. Just recently passed the mark of 300 subs. And they mainly do reviews, kind of movie discussions and live streams now on their channel. They put out a lot of fun and comedic content on their channel, all movie related. And I really enjoyed one of their last few videos, which was a top 10 horror movies to watch at Halloween, which had me in stitches. I will leave the link to their great channel as well as that real funny video that they made. Please check out that video and sub to these two great guys, Ricky and Pablo. The channel link will be in the description box down below. So to the DVDs that I picked up, and it's only two DVDs that I picked up. The first one being a box set of a classic British sitcom from the early 1970s. Some Mothers Do Have 'Em, starring Michael Crawford, who played the accident pro Frank Spencer. And this set comes with the first 3 seasons as well as the Christmas specials that they made in the late 1970s. And this was a TV show that I watched a lot in the 1980s that was repeated on BBC television. It really made Frank Spencer a household name. So we'll have a look at these DVDs. This one is season 1, and the Christmas specials always get replayed during the festive season. Season 2, Michael Crawford as Frank Spencer in that famous coat and the beret that he always wore, married to Betty. And season 3, Michael Crawford did try to break out as a more of a serious actor. He was kind of typecasted after this hit series, and these are the Christmas specials. The Learning to Drive and Learning to Fly, they were very popular Christmas specials. I did do a movie in the early 80s, a Disney comedy adventure movie, Condor Man, which kind of got a little bit panned. And Michael Crawford eventually did gain huge success in the musical Phantom of the Opera. So yeah, Some Mothers Do Have 'Em, a comedy classic British series. And the last DVD is this special collector's edition of Halloween, and it comes with the 25 years of terror documentary. Mainly got this one because of the extras and the features, which there is 7 hours of features, and it comes on 4 discs. Get the 4 discs as well as the original movie directed by John Carpenter. And you get this insert on some information on Halloween, one of the slasher movie greats. And you get like a comic book and I suspect quite a few Halloween movie fans would have this edition in their collection. And speaking of Halloween, I've seen the new Halloween movie, Halloween Kills, which was an average watch. It certainly wasn't as good as Halloween 2018. The first half of the movie I really enjoyed. Not so much the second half. I didn't enjoy much of the lynch mob aspect to the movie, and also a pretty odd and peculiar character in kind of the lost, escaped patient, which didn't really make sense in having that character. And parts of the movie, Michael Myers was indestructible, and then towards the end of the movie he was not so indestructible. Yeah, I mean, there were some cool and horrific kills, but it certainly wasn't as good as the previous movie. But hoping that the third movie, Halloween Ends, is better than Halloween Kills. So guys, let us know your thoughts on the Halloween Kills movie. And more John Carpenter, one of his early movies. This one, Someone's Watching Me, a TV movie which got released after the Halloween movie, and I think he made this one a little bit before the Halloween movie, and one I haven't seen, this TV movie. And also Adrienne Barbeau is in this one. That one from the late 1970s, in 78. This one, a vampire movie, kind of underrated John Carpenter movie. This one is Vampires, starring James Woods, who's part of a team of vampire slayers, and probably John Carpenter's last hit movie, this one. And this is the Indicator release, which is now out of print. You do get some good gore in this one. Not a huge vampire movie fan, but this one's a kind of underrated movie. Vampires. And also had to pick up this one, which is one I haven't seen, from early 2000. This is Ghosts of Mars, kind of an odd and bizarre movie set in the future, starring Ice Cube, Pam Grier, and also Jason Statham is in this movie. And this movie was a flop at the box office, but one I've kind of avoided. But if you are a John Carpenter fan, you've got to add this one to the collection at some point. A few horror movie classics. One I've never seen and just recently watched in October. This is the original The Town That Dreaded Sundown, starring Ben Johnson, based on true events from the 1940s. There was a hooded serial killer who killed a few people and wasn't actually never found. This one was okay. It's kind of, the story and the movie was kind of influenced the makers of Friday the 13th Part 2, which you had Sackhead Jason. And there is a remake of this movie. I actually was expecting a little bit more. And this is kind of like a semi-documentary movie, The Town That Dreaded Sundown, from 1976. Another horror classic from the 1970s. This is Tobe Hooper's Salem's Lot, taken from the Stephen King novel starring David Soul, who plays a writer. While in his hometown, he realises that some of the locals are turning into vampires. Also starring James Mason in this movie. Always remembered the window scene, which is a real creepy scene. And I remembered watching this one as a mini series, so I'm not too sure if this is going to be presented as a whole movie. Running time over 3 hours. Salem's Lot. And more Michael Myers. I picked up this US Halloween Rob Zombie Collector's Steelbook Edition. This one's the uncut version, the unrated edition. Goes into my Michael Myers and Halloween set collection, I should say. Recently watched the original Hatchet movie, which I really enjoyed, about the disfigured serial killer Victor Crowley from the swamps, and this is Hatchet 3. And also in October I watched the original The Conjuring movie, so I had to pick up the second movie, The Conjuring 2, the Enfield case, and this one I'm hearing is set in the UK. James Wan horror movie, this one. And more modern day horror. This one I haven't seen. A Quiet Place starring Emily Blunt. Huge successful movie, this one, earning over $300 million at the box office. Family forced to live in fear and in silence to actually stay alive, as there's these kind of blind monsters with high powered senses, and they've recently just been released the sequel of A Quiet Place. The next movie is a Eurocrime favourite, which I had to pick up in this 88 Films Collector's Edition. This is The Violent Professionals from the early 1970s, a Sergio Martino Eurocrime movie. Sergio Martino is a giallo movie director, more known for his type of movies in the giallo genre. This one starring Luke Miranda and Richard Conte. Excellent Eurocrime movie. Luke Miranda, he plays a Milan cop who takes no prisoners, whose boss he actually gets murdered by organised crime, and then he gets suspended from the force. And then he goes undercover, breaking all the rules to try to bring the killers to justice. And you do get the booklet in this great 88 Films release. And for those who haven't seen many Eurocrime movies, this is one to check out. Yeah, this is one of the posters that you get, double-sided posters in this set. This is an upgrade for me because I do have the US Wild East DVD of The Violent Professionals. Plenty of car chases, action scenes, highly violent Eurocrime movie. Fantastic release from 88 Films, and it's also a region free release, so Eurocrime fans worldwide can pick this edition up of The Violent Professionals. onto the last Blu-ray titles. This one's actually a bootleg that my good buddy Gary, Blu-ray collector, helped me to pick up, and this is the Stinky Tuna edition of After Hours, a Martin Scorsese movie that doesn't get mentioned a lot, from the mid 1980s, starring Griffin Dunne from the American Werewolf in London movie. Also Rosanna Arquette, and a computer word processor in Griffin Dunne, who plays a character who has the worst night of his life. It's kind of like a black comedy, but as I remembered back in the VHS days, a highly enjoyable dark comedy drama movie, this one, After Hours. Very underrated Martin Scorsese movie from his career. And the last Blu-ray title, and actually from 1985 also, this is Remo Williams' The Adventure Begins, starring Fred Ward, directed by James Bond director Guy Hamilton. This movie, a New York cop who dies by accident, which they actually fake, and then he trains to become a top-notch assassin for the US president. One I have seen, but can't remember a whole lot. This is the Arrow video release of Remo Williams. And this is the original poster for the movie. Onto the 4K titles and some more horror movies. A British horror classic, this one, Don't Look Now, from the early 1970s. A married couple travel to Italy. They try to get over the death of their daughter. On 4K. Early 1970s movie, this one. The next movie is the new Dario Argento 4K collector's edition. This is Deep Red, having previously released The Bird with the Crystal Plumage, and also The Cat O' Nine Tails. This is the mid-70s Giallo classic from Dario Argento, and it does come with two cuts of the movie. You do get the Italian extended cut as well as the international cut. And we'll have a quick look on the contents on this set. And this is the Amore, Deep Red. You will never forget it. Not the biggest Giallo movie fan, but I am an admirer of Dario Argento's work, as well as Sergio Martino's Giallo movie work. Very stylish slasher movies. And you get some movie cards. I suppose Arrow Video will be releasing most of Argento's movies that they previously released on Arrow Video, like Phenomena and Tenebrae. And you also get a booklet to this excellent release. The movie stars British actor David Hemmings. So yep, the new Dario Argento Collector's Edition presented on 4K. Another Arrow Video superb edition of this movie, Deep Red. The next movie is a werewolf favourite from the 1980s, Joe Dante's The Howling from Studio Canal. There is a collector's edition of this movie which I almost did pick up, but I had to settle for this steelbook version because I am a fan of the original movie posters, and this one does come with that real cool poster for The Howling. This one starring Dee Wallace and Patrick Macnee, about a TV newswoman who goes to a kind of like a mountain resort when she realises that a few of the locals are werewolves. Yeah, one of the better werewolf movies from the 1980s. Do like that artwork on the back of this steelbook. And there are your discs. Great werewolf movie, this one, The Howling. Wasn't a fan of some of the sequels, but yeah, great release from Studio Canal. The next movie is one of my favourite Stephen King novels that got turned into a movie, directed by Rob Reiner. This one from the 90s is Misery, and this is the US Kino Lorber 4K and Blu-ray release, which just got released. You get some special features there, and a little bit disappointing because you get the slipcover with this, but you don't get a alternative cover for the Amaray. Great movie, this one, starring James Caan and Kathy Bates. James Caan plays a famous author who suffers from a car crash in a blizzard, and then he gets rescued by a fan in Kathy Bates, who's also a nurse, and then the nightmare begins. Yeah, great movie, this one, Misery. Kathy Bates and James Caan, great acting performances of this horror classic in Misery. So that's all the horror movies that I picked up, and I also picked up this gangster favourite of mine, Brian De Palma's Carlito's Way, starring Al Pacino and Sean Penn. And this is the Zavvi limited steelbook collector's edition, which I will be doing a separate video of because it's a fine release, which I want to do a whole video to present the contents of this release. So guys, there's all the DVDs, Blu-rays and 4K titles that I picked up in October 2021. Let us know on your thoughts on the pickups and Halloween kills, and please go over and sub to the Old AF Reviewers, a channel that is a channel that I highly recommend. So guys, till the next video, stay healthy and well, and as always, keep on talking movies and keep on collecting.